27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Connection Interruption. I'm your host, DJ Tay Boogie, and it's being brought to you by Team Fresh. And we are back for episode 13, where we talk about mobile gaming. I got to bring my brothers from another mother in, Mark and Ryan. What's good, fellas?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
What up, though?
So,
Hey, no running late this time. I'm here.
Yay.
What's good, fellas?
not too much. Good week of gaming, of course. But as promised, as we talked about last week, we have the mobile gaming episode, we like to call it.
Yes, we are on deck for that. I'm in
mobile gaming.
Yeah,
mobile gaming.
What was that?
Mobile gaming.
No,
What was that? What was that tiny one?
Yeah. What was that?
Oh,
snap!
Still got old school.
Hold a charge.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I replaced the battery a little while ago. It's in good shape actually, considering. Yeah, I was actually playing it earlier today. Played some Tetris, or it was Pokemon Puzzle League, I guess, or whatever it's called. But it used to be called Tetris Attack back in the day.
Yeah, I got my backbone up.
Backbone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna get. Yeah.
But I also I've never been able to get it to work, and that's kind of one of my problems. But I've always tried the Xbox or PlayStation controller to connect. It just never works. So.
Oh, I've gotten my Xbox, like my new Xbox controllers work really well. The ones that had the Bluetooth capability, obviously.
Right.
Speaking of controllers, my niece and my daughter transformed my controllers for use for their phone, and it took me like 30 minutes to get it back synced with my PS4.
No,
it was terrible.
Yeah, you have to does the PS4 have that reset button in the back? Is that the one that you have to push take a little pin or something and get to, yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. So do you have to do that to connect to the phone and the PlayStation, or just back to the PlayStation?
Back to the PlayStation.
Back to the PlayStation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I only did it one time and then was like, man, I'm never doing that again because that takes way too much effort.
It's a headache. Yeah,
that's kind of weird. It connects forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's good?
Well,
what's good?
Should we start with what we're playing as we usually do?
Yeah. I switched it up this week. I've been playing Fist of the North Star Paradise.
What?
Yeah, I had to crack it out the plastic. So.
You finally? I didn't know that was one that was still wrapped.
Yeah, that was one that was still wrapped. It's by default. It got lost in the back of the game, pal.
Yeah.
I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion, and I was actually on Facebook, and I seen a new, upload online for Red Dead Redemption. So I took a crack at it. So.
All right.
Those are my 3 for this week.
How long did you play Red Dead? How far are you in?
I think I'm 40% done on the game.
Wow.
I played maybe like 3-4 hours straight. So
Wait,
yeah,
hold on a minute. You're 40% into Red Dead?
yeah.
Like, wait. Is this the first time you played? I'm sorry, or is this like?
No, this is the first time I played. Like I started, then I stopped. Like I
Okay.
started, then I stopped. So yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Now when playing a bunch of single player games like that, I don't know how you do it. I like to just stick to the one and then, then like beat the one game. So like Watch Dogs Legions, then I'd go play the Fist of the North Star, which I didn't know what that was until I looked it up. And then um and then Red Dead. I'm surprised you like jumping around game to game like that.
But well, see, I really don't like jumping around game to game. I like to really like focus on my game. But it's like lately, I start a game, get sleepy, take the game out, and then I get another boost of energy and just toss a different game in.
Gotcha.
It's to be one of those days.
What about you,
Yeah.
Ryan? Can you do that? Do you play like multiple single player games at once, or do you kind of like stick to one?
I try not to because then I get like kind of overwhelmed with too many things going on at once.
Right.
But I it kind of depends on the game. Like Red Dead for me, as beautiful as that game was, like I got frustrated with it way too easily.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was just riding around on a freaking horse all the time. So like I had to break away from that to play other things because of that.
Right.
So in the case of Red Dead, yeah, I went and played other things. I did the same with GTA, to be honest with you, because GTA and
What?
yeah, so
I was waiting for that.
Tay's gonna lose his mind. So games that are really super long story mode wise, like I tend to, if they have a bunch of side quests, I tend to get lost in the side quests. I know we've talked about it before. Like,
Yeah.
it took me 4 years to beat Batman Arkham Asylum or whatever because I was doing everything, like kind of going off and on. So yeah, obviously I break away from games quite a bit. I was worse about it when I worked at GameStop though, when I had to be able to tell people about games because I felt like you had to play a little bit of everything.
Right.
To talk
Makes
about
sense.
it.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little bit better about settling in and playing one thing. Like I'm pretty sure that like I just started Genshin Impact. I think if I sit long enough with that, I can
Nice.
kind of get through that. I don't if I can keep myself interested, I guess would be the best way to put that. It just feels a lot like Breath of the Wild as far as the art style and everything goes.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, so most single player games I try now like to just get through. Like if it's a 4-hour story, I try to knock that out pretty quick. And I also play on baby ass baby mode. Like I keep it as easy as possible.
You play on easy mode?
Yeah, because man, when you got 3 kids running around
True,
and you're trying to figure out ways to get any story mode game in, like I don't have, I'm coaching soccer now too, so it's like I don't have 4 hours to just sit and play.
Right.
And then find out that I'm only like really 2 hours into the game because I kept dying. Like so if it's a story driven game, I'll play it on easy just to enjoy the story mode. I actually put it on Facebook today. Like I just put cold hard facts. Like I will play a game on story mode because I'm a middle-aged parent who doesn't have time to grind. And that's just the
Right.
reality. Like I love Destiny. You all know that I have a very fun, like I have fondness for Destiny. I love the art style. I love all that stuff. I don't get to play it because I can't pause it.
Yeah.
Kids come down and something's wrong and I got to stop. Like I can't play
Right.
it. So yeah, I tend to bounce around now, or a little less now than I used to.
Yeah. See, for me, I never would bounce around, and if I did bounce, it'd be single player to multiplayer. And then if I do bounce, it's like, okay, I'm playing single player, and I'm not. Then also, I'm just not playing single player anymore because it's just like I either get bored or I've taken so much time away from it that I'm like, I almost just want to restart, and then I just never go back.
Right.
So, I have a huge single player problem, but it's just kind of who I am.
Well, no, and that's kind of what with Breath of the Wild. I think I was 20 hours in, and everybody's like, "How do you only have 4 hearts so far?" And I was like, well, because once I got the glider, I started just trying to find the highest place on the map and glide as far as I could go.
Right.
You know, like, and that's what I do. Like I'm not necessarily a completionist when it comes to playing a game. So if I'm playing a game and enjoying what I'm doing with it, then it's cool to me.
Right.
But yeah, I totally get where people can't move to something else.
I get that because when I first got on Grand Theft, I was on a motorcycle doing stunts for about a good 2-3 weeks. Not even playing the games, just rolling around on a motorcycle, hitting
Right.
stuff. Yeah. So, what you guys playing this week?
Mark, you want to go ahead?
Ryan. You go ahead.
Okay. So Genshin Impact, like I just mentioned, I dove back into Mario 3D World on
Nice.
Switch for a little bit. I played some Puzzle League on Game Boy Advanced SP, which is what I was showing off earlier. I've got my Vita here as well because I've been playing on that. Since the show was all mobile gaming this week, like related. That's pretty much everything I played on was something that I could take with me. I didn't play, like I kind of stuck to the show this time, but I mean I played Pac-Man as always, but not the one that I've been playing. But I've been like just kind of goofing around to see like what do I do when I play mobile games? Like what kind of games am I looking at? Like on a regular day, I'm probably playing, 20 to 30 minutes like while I'm on my lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want a long game. So I've just been kind of bouncing around. Fighters are my go-to a lot of times. Like I play Mortal Kombat on the Switch, which is a little different. It's not nearly as graphic. I played some of that this week. Yeah, I mean, I kind of bounced around because I was just trying to get a feel for like, hey, what was I playing when, and what did I like when I was doing this? And then I tried some of the stuff on the Game Pass using the Razer Kishi. It's okay if you've got good Wi-Fi, but I was struggling to get connected outside of the house.
Yeah.
And stay connected with really good stuff on there. So.
Yeah, so for me, this week has literally only been 2 games, and it's just been Rocket League and Escape from Tarkov. And it's been just kind of which friend is online at the time. My one buddy's on, we'll play Rocket League. If my other buddy's on, we're playing Escape from Tarkov, and that's kind of where I've just been at. As far as mobile games go, I'm playing all my usual ones. And that's like Clash of Clans, Boom Beach. There's kind of like town simulation kind of things.
Yeah.
And like beyond that, mobile games wise, like I don't do racing. I don't really do like COD Mobile, and the other reason for that is I do not like using my thumbs. Like I remember we're talking to Scoot, and he kind of like prefers that over like a controller or a device kind of thing. Me personally, no. I hate the smudges on my screen. Like you start your thumbs down at the bottom of your screen, but then my like thumbs will slowly slide up to the top as I'm like aiming, and I gotta replace them. Or if I gotta go press a button, like you know what I mean. So, and I've never played the games enough to buy like one of those kind of like devices like the Razer has or anything like that. So I've always just tried to get like the existing controllers that I have to work, and they just never do. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or what, but I've watched countless YouTube videos. So
it's time for you to cross the fence, buddy.
Come
on over.
Invest in a little backbone or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, but how often will you use it?
That's the thing. It's not often now. If I bought it, it might change. But like I already try to limit how much I use my phone, and like that's dangerous because like I try to limit my gaming to like, like at night, like, nothing's going on, like kind of thing, just like a little escape, do my thing and get off. And if I had a backbone, I know what I would do. I would get off of here and I would go sit in bed, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like it would sneak up on me.
Yep. So, no, I do that. I mean, it was funny because before we did the podcast, I was like, hey kids, has anybody seen my Vita? They were like, they're like, what? And I'm like, the blue one, because they basically refer to everything in colors when it comes to the handhelds. Like they know,
Right.
like, so they're like, yeah, it's by your bed. And I was like, yep, there you go, because I was probably playing it like before I went to bed one night. But
Right. And personally, like, I mean, I don't mind like getting lost in video games for hours on end, but I just try to stay as productive as I can for the most part. But it doesn't always work out.
Gotcha. Most definitely. I was going to put both of y'all on timeout for being childish, but I'm going to let y'all slide.
wait, we're on a gaming podcast, isn't that like the main?
That's a good point. If anything, I think that ups the reason why I should have
like
Razor.
we should
Like
totally
it's mandatory.
have it.
Like I really have a sleeping problem, and this is terrible. Like I got my phone, and then I use my old phone to pick the backbone on. It's always a light on in my room. I can't sleep. Either that or I'm reading a book. So
what's your guys' favorite mobile game, like overall?
my favorite mobile, I would have to say 2K.
You like the mobile 2K?
Yeah, it plays different than the actual consoles. So it's more like to me, an NBA Jam feel without the graphics.
Oh man, that's such a hard question. Like, if I include Switch as a mobile game, like a mobile console, since I do play it mainly on the go, I would say that Mario Maker 2 is my favorite mobile game. If I'm not including that, Luminous is really cool on the Vita. Or Tetris. I mean, those are kind of the two go-tos for me, like when I'm just looking to kill a little bit of time.
Right.
But on Vita, I also have a ton of like PlayStation games. So I go back, like I play like Street Fighter Alpha 3. So
with the Vita, is that online like download or does it have a disc like the PSP?
It has a cartridge slot on it.
Okay.
But I have one that has a memory card inside the cartridge slot, and stuff downloads and saves on there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I have a ton of games on Vita that, I mean, I could say were probably some of my favorite of all time. Luminous is one. I love Hot Shots Golf. Like I've always loved that game, and they have that on Vita. Like the Vita was my favorite handheld of all time until the Switch came around. But
right.
You'll have people argue that the Switch isn't a handheld.
Interesting.
But like they say, like it's a hybrid console. It's not technically a handheld, and I'm like, yeah, look. I mean, I'm attached to this fixture S1, and we've talked about it on. This is probably the third or fourth podcast that I've been like, spend the money if you have a Switch and you have a Pro controller, because you're playing with the Pro controller on your Switch like right away. Like it's the best.
Yeah, mine's is still coming. Amazon had it on back order. So
yeah,
I got my Switch behind me on the charger. So
they just posted a picture and said like, "Hey, we're giving away one of these on Instagram for anybody who wants to follow us on Insta and like the post or whatever." And I was like, "I'm not really an Instagram guy, but that's a sick looking one." They do some customs.
Really?
Maybe we could bust out and get a custom like connection interruption fixture S1. That'd be pretty sick.
So
hold on, what's the RG? Let me go see if
I think it's just fixture S1 is what where did my phone go? Because I was on Facebook and said, yeah, I don't do the Insta thing, but they definitely have some cool stuff, and it's Fixture Gaming is their Facebook page, and they've got this new one that they just posted. It's like multicolored. They're giving it away. I can probably throw it up in the chat here so people can jump in if they want to jump into that. But I mean, it's a really cool one. I think if you can continue to do the things that they're doing and just add stuff in, like you start to see like more people using that and joining in and considering the Switch to be more of a mobile console than a hybrid, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this new skin. Yeah, they're kind of dope.
Yeah, I mean they got some really cool stuff, and my understanding is it's a really small company, and they just came up with that concept and ran with it. I'm hopeful that the new OLED, like the OLED model Switch, fits in it, and if it doesn't, I hope they make one that will.
I'm sure they would. I mean, like, that's kind of their bread and butter or whatnot. See, what
Yeah,
the biggest thing in mobile gaming for me right now that I have my eyes on is Steam's upcoming mobile device. I don't remember the name of it.
the Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, there it is.
Yeah,
Which, yeah, so I'm looking. I already have a $5 down on
as do
that.
I.
Yeah, see, I was like,
See,
$5.
now I
I'm not
gotta
gonna do it.
now I gotta go Google something.
The reason I like the Steam Deck so much is because I'm a person that likes all of my stuff in one place, and like as a PC gamer, you know what I mean? Like it's like okay, like
Well, my Steam library is huge, so I get that.
right,
Like,
it's like exactly. So it's like I see that and I'm like, all right, cool. Like this makes sense for me. Like as I love the Switch and everything, but like I don't have very many games for it, and the games are expensive, like we've talked about before, and so. In that sense, it's like, okay, this is great. Like I can play my games from pretty much anywhere.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I'll be interested to see how it works out because the space is going to be limited.
This
Like
thing
I
is
pre-ordered
Right.
I pre-ordered the model that had the biggest hard drive size.
so did I.
Because I was
$649.
shh. My wife is probably watching the show. Can we not?
My bad.
He's
$699.
he's gonna make that money.
I'm hoping that one day they're like, hey, the show's popular enough, we're gonna send y'all one. You know, like they do with some other people. But
Yeah, we're getting there. We're definitely
Yeah.
going to get there. But this is nice. I like that. And it has the outputs to hook up to TV and everything.
well, and there's a dock that you can get for it too, where you can play it like a PC at home. So you can just plug it into the dock, and then you have like a keyboard and mouse available to play.
Right.
So
And-
that'll be interesting to see how that works.
So I think that it will work pretty well. I think my concern are graphics, but at the same time, I mean, I'm just looking forward to being like, oh, I can grind, these games while I'm not at home or like whatever it is, and it's like that's kind of like. So I don't have a gaming laptop, and all the mobile like gaming that I have is either single player or you need like a lot of people to play, like Smash or like Mario Kart Racing and stuff like that on the
Yeah.
Switch, or the things on my phone is just like Clash and stuff like that. So like this, it's like okay, if I'm actually gonna leave and I actually want to game while I'm like out of town, like this is like literally perfect. So
Yeah, I mean the interesting thing about that device is that they've really tried to corner that market. Like, hey, you're going to be able to play just basically anything that's in your Steam library.
right,
And I mean, like, I'm pulling up my Steam library now just because I want to see what the number is. It's pretty hefty at this point for me.
Oh,
And
yeah, now go ahead.
if I
I'll
can-
wait till you get there.
No, if I can play the majority of that stuff, like that's a big deal. It's a really big deal to be able to be like, okay, I know I can't download all of it at the same time, obviously.
right, which would
Right.
be ridiculous anyway.
Oh yeah, but I mean, 477 games in my Steam library.
It's just nice to
Wow.
have that option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it probably wouldn't really take that long to download at all if you're like wanting to delete a game and then like pick something else up and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the number of fighting games I have in my Steam library, I could just put a couple of them on there, and I know that like that would just take my time. Like,
Right.
I tend to really like fighters on mobile, and I don't know why, but I mean I think it's because it's probably quick.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah,
can play a
definitely.
quick game, and it's not a big deal. But yeah, I think that Steam Deck's going to be an interesting thing to watch because there's different waves of people on the pre-order, right?
Yeah.
So like
What do you mean by that?
when you pre-ordered it, it told you if
Oh.
you were in wave
yeah.
1 or 2 or
I have to go back and
whatever.
look. I don't even remember looking at that now.
Yeah, I was in like wave 2. I got it on the first day. I pre-ordered it on the first day, but I'm in wave 2.
Yeah. Speaking of Steam, I actually signed up for my account. This is my beef I have with mobile gaming. So you got the Xbox Pass, right? Then you
Yeah.
have the PlayStation Remote, and then now you got Steam. I can't, for some reason, I couldn't find any good games. But
On what?
we're using my backbone.
Oh, okay.
So I was using my backbone, and I think Apple, they teased it, but I don't know how true it is. Because, like, using my backbone, I use the Apple Arcade, and it works with most of their games. But I think Apple is about to come out with a handheld gaming system.
I mean, that'd be an interesting concept because I think almost everything on Apple Arcade runs on the iPhone just fine. So I don't know why they would jump into that market.
That's an interesting idea, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they teased it because, like, you got your iPad, you got an iPad mini, then you got your phone. It's like, okay, but you really don't have a really controller option unless you buy a backbone for your phone. So with the iPad and the iPad mini, it's like, hey, yeah, with the thumb situation. So for them to jump in that market, I think they will put a big dent into sales for other mobile.
While you're talking about your backbone, how does your phone fit into it? Like, is it snug?
Yes, like it's very snug.
Now, but you had to take your case off, right?
Yeah, I had to take the my hard case off.
Okay.
I was scared because, like, even if you drop it, it's like
right. So that's probably my biggest gripe with the Razer controller, like for the phone, is that it's not protecting your phone at all.
Right. I don't know if y'all could see it. Like it's not really wide. So it's like when you slide it in,
but the backbone is thicker on the back. And I don't have the Kishi down here. I have it. It's actually out in my car right now. So if anybody wants to break into my car and take it, there it is.
No, do not do that. Do not.
No, but it doesn't have. So whereas yours has that sliding mechanism in the back that's like kind of like thicker, the Kishi just has like two little, like I want to say like elastic bands that essentially pull apart and come together, and then it clicks on the back. Like it's not very sturdy. So when I'm playing it, it's kind of like flimsy, I guess. So I want to be able to put it in, like keep my case on and put it in, but it doesn't work that way. Like it won't go in.
And I think this is the SE iPhone, but it works with the Plus, like the 7 Plus.
The big one?
Yeah, the big one. And
yeah, that's like, what I have, so it would have to.
Yeah, I slid it in there, and I was really kind of scared because now it sticks outside of the controller. So it's like you got this big screen, and then it's like if you drop it or...
Well, that's my concern. Yeah, like for sure. So I mean, Mark has the advantage in this one because he can leave it in his case and play with his thumbs.
Right. And I was sitting here thinking too what you were saying about the Apple, not to go back, but like, won't you think they would just come out with like a gaming iPad, just like an iPad that was like towards gaming rather than coming out with something new? But that was just an idea that I had just like come to me real quick. But I get what you guys are saying in the case. So like, what would be the solution that to make the device itself protect the phone? Because I mean, the case thing is you're never going to get around that.
Right, but if they made the device where you had an additional, even if it's just like an additional rubber piece that you can fit around the phone based on whatever size phone you have.
Right.
Like if you're, because when you're buying it, it would work really well with iPhone because there's only so many versions of the iPhone out there, right? I feel like it would be really, really hard to do it with Android because there's so many different Android devices.
Mm-hmm.
But just some sort of protective like sleeve for the outside of your phone, like just even if it's the top and the bottom and you're just putting it over it because the rest of the phone is protected by the controller on each end.
Right.
it just needs something there, like just to kind of keep it from like if somehow it slides out of your hand, which God forbid that happens because it's all glass anyway.
That
But
happened.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's bound to happen sooner or later, or if you're just something, you could get startled real quick by something or whatever, and you just drop it.
Rip.
I have that's the only other complaint I have about the fixture S1 as well. Like I can't keep my Switch in a case yet, like to protect it. And I know that's part of. I mean, you just kind of it's a risk you kind of take with playing mobile a little bit, but I mean, you're investing a decent amount of money on the mobile side on your different devices. You don't want to drop it and it shatter or whatever.
Right.
So I just pulled up the article. So Backbone is iPhone only, and they're not sure if they're going to venture off into the Android phone
Right.
market because, like we were saying, dropping and they don't have a case for it. They got a traveling case you can put it in, but yeah, they're working on that.
I guess I don't even know why the Backbone, like, it slides behind the phone. So I don't know why they don't just have like a whole square like surround the phone. You know what I mean? Like, as it no different than my
because of the,
like,
I would guess because of the different sizes of phones. Because if you watch Tay when he opens it,
yeah,
so like when he can slide it open,
and I could still go an extra like inch and a half maybe.
That makes sense.
I, in all seriousness, would pay an extra $10 though for them to include little silicone sleeves that go around the outside of different models of phones.
Right.
Yeah, even if it's just the corners.
Yeah, and that's all I'm talking about. Like, just cover the sides because your ends are going to be covered by the controller piece. So, like, just cover the sides of the phone and try to protect it that way. I mean,
right.
I don't know. I just think your phone's pretty expensive. The Backbone and the Kishi are like $100 per, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like very rarely will you see like my Vita isn't in a case right now. That's very rare for me to have it just sitting anywhere without it.
So they don't offer a case for the Vita?
They do. They have a bunch of them.
Okay.
There's a Nerf case. There's some off-brand ones that are squishy like Nerf cases or whatever. They have some that are shaped like controllers on the end, so it feels like you're holding a controller versus just holding the handheld. I mean, there's a bunch of cases out there for it. Switch has them as well, but like depending on what peripherals you're using can change whether it'll fit in the case or not. Like my Switch, I have like a flip over case, and then I also have a clear plastic case that we have on the kids Switch that makes it so it's still dockable. And then I ordered like it's not a Nerf brand, but something that's similar to the Nerf one that's still dockable for the kids, like for their Switch. And when their Switch isn't in a case, I like basically freak out because I know like my youngest, he'll walk up and down the steps while he's playing, and I'm like, bro, just stop playing long enough. Like
rolls it down the steps.
Yeah, like, and he's done it before. He's straight up dropped it. Like, and I'm like, no, this is why we don't play on the steps. Like, but kids are kids, man. Like, so if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, this is dad's. Like, like you can play this while you're sitting with me or whatever. But I don't. I just had that fear, and I have that same thing with the phone ones. Like I have the fear of me dropping it personally because I know, like, you can be distracted really easily by stuff.
Yeah, and like I put the one on my Switch, the one that has the extended ends on it.
Yeah,
and to me that's too big.
You're talking about the one that has like the Pro controller pieces that go on the sides.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I have those too. And I agree with you. I think it makes the Switch too big.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was on an airplane. I'm like, okay, if I really wanted something this big, I might as well just put my laptop in my lap and just.
Well, yeah,
sitting there, elbows out, in his chair.
Well, and it's interesting because I have a gaming laptop. I have an Alienware laptop that's a 17-inch. It's kind of too big to be just like travel, like to take with me anywhere. But I don't even game on that as far as mobile stuff. Like, I don't consider that a mobile device at this point. Like, and I don't know if it's just because I have all these other small ones that I can just grab real fast and go, or if I don't know. It's just, to me, when I think mobile gaming, I don't think laptops.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you can.
That makes it
And
tough.
then like, I thought I had it right next to me. It was another case that I got for the Switch. I'm probably like, okay, it didn't make it bigger. It just made it too wide. So it was like it was too thick.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even want to carry it no more. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I've given up functioning with the Switch with Joy-Cons on the side. I really have. Like, there's Joy-Cons here. Very rarely do I put them on there because I'm like, I don't like how they feel. I don't want to say they're slimy. Like, they just have a weird texture to them. Mine aren't. They're not slimy, but they like
Slimy.
I don't know how else to describe it. They're like slippery.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they have a matte. They have like a matte paint to them. That's why it's like a matte paint, and it's not like a glossiness. It's just like a matte, and you know how different paints. Like if something's really glossy, it has that like slippery feel, but it's almost like gross slippery. Well, like the matte is just slick. It's almost like a really soft fabric, and like you put your phone on it, and it slides right off. You know what I mean? Kind of something like that. I get what you're saying. I can never play the Switch with it like wide with it on the sides either, but I will put it in like the little like controller docking thing. I have it around here somewhere where you slide two of them in and it's like a little Xbox controller. I will use that and set it up on something or put it in my lap, and it's terrible for my neck, but forget it,
Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah. Like I actually like what they did where you could slide it into the plastic pieces and hold it. I have on the choose your weapons lockers over here. I've like this one already set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to buy that one, but I thought that when I first seen it, I thought it was just like a charging station. I was like, what's the purpose?
Oh, there is one that is a charging station. That's this one right here, maybe. I have one that charges. It's not this one. But there's a charger for it, like where you can plug in like a USB-C cable to it.
Okay.
Yeah, they have that one as well. So
I got a question for you guys. If you could only take one mobile device with you, and you were stranded on the island, what mobile device would it be?
Can I say the Steam Deck even though it's not out?
sure.
The Steam Deck, as long as it works just as well as the Switch. Doesn't have to be better than the Switch, just as well than the Steam Deck. 100%.
Do I get to take my Fixture S1 with me?
Sure. Yeah.
If I get to take the Fixture S1 with the Pro controller, I'm taking a Switch all day.
You can take any accessories you want.
Yeah, if I can take any accessories I want, Fixture S1, my Switch. If I could, I'll be honest, if Fixture S1 came to me and said, hey, we're going to make a thing that'll hold your Vita and you can use a PlayStation controller under it, I would be all in.
I'm going to have to go old school with my mobile gaming device. I would take my PSP.
Okay. I get that because I really do like the Vita. I like the Vita a lot. And I had a PSP. Well, I still have a PSP. I just never break it out because I only have a couple games left on it that are functional.
That battery's probably dead too.
Oh yeah. Years ago. Like I'm sure if I plugged it in right now, it would just start smoking, right? Like, why are you trying to charge me after 5 years of just letting me sit in a box?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the PSP would be a good one. I mean, I almost want to say Game Boy Advance because there were so many games for that. But like, I can probably count the number of great games for that system on one hand for me. But there's a wide variety of them.
Because I got the Game Boy case that goes on the back of the phone with all the Game Boy games installed. Man, like 1 minute I'm checking a text message, and then I'm flipping it over and playing a site bite. I had to take that case off the phone. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I love me some old school Nintendo. So the fact that the Switch has the ability, like I mean, Stranded on Desert Island, I can't connect to Nintendo online, but the old school Nintendo and Super Nintendo games that are available to play on there. I love that stuff. Like, I just can't get enough of that. So I'm all about that retro life.
Respectable.
But yeah, Mark, I'm interested to see come December or February, like in between December and February, when they're saying that window of when the Steam Deck's
Right.
going to come out. I'm interested to see how it plays.
I think it will be pretty good. I just hope that I didn't get tricked. You know what I mean? But
Does it completely revolutionize mobile gaming if it comes out and it's it functions as we would anticipate it functioning?
yes, because yes, and it needs two things. The library functionality needs to be fine. Like I play, let's say, 80% of the Steam library games or whatever,
Yeah.
which is probably a realistic number. And then the other part is the online connection ability and like multiplayer and stuff like that. If that's pretty good too, then I say it would, only because of the library size. I mean, the Switch already did, and I mean, let's be honest, the Steam Deck probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Switch, or maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe the Steam Deck wouldn't be as good, if the Switch hadn't come around.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got a lot of ideas from them. However, I just think you're kind of tapping into that larger market. I mean, Nintendo is huge, but I would say it's not as big as Steam and just like those games in general. Whereas Nintendo is very off and like kind of doing their own thing. Whereas this one kind of like invites everyone into having that like mobile device. It's like,
Right.
come on in. So I would say yeah, but
But what about the price point though?
I think
like, that's-
price wise it's fine.
Well, do you think? Yeah, no, I'm not going to announce the price again, Tay. Like, thanks, buddy. No, I wonder if it's too expensive for the like non-hardcore gamer. I guess is what I'm like the casual gamer. Is it too expensive for a casual gamer?
I would say
do we think?
no. I would say no because I mean, I think the problem is not the price. I just feel like a lot of people just won't want it and just won't get it because they feel like they don't need it. And to be honest, I mean, they're right. You know what I mean?
No, they're
Unless-
I mean, you need
if
every
you're
console.
traveling,
Right.
if you're traveling a lot, then yeah. But like, I don't know. That's the only thing that would not revolutionize it is if a lot of people don't get it. And who
Yeah.
knows?
Well, I'm looking at some of the stuff. They say your Steam library anywhere. Once you log into Steam, that your entire Steam library shows up, just like any other PC. You'll be
Right.
able to find your collection and favorites right where you left them. So,
I'll have to try
that's
Counter
pretty
Strike on
dope.
that. Counter Strike would be weird.
Well, the other game that I thought about on it that I thought would be weird would be like Civilization
Yeah.
or any of those sim games like Roller Coaster Tycoon or anything like that. Like anything that's a point and click mouse game, how's it going to function? I know there's like trackpad looking like things on the Steam Deck, but how's that going to work?
Hey, and speaking of that, well, while we speaking of mobile gaming and people like traveling and putting hours into gaming, I put the article up. China, 18 and under, you're only allowed to play 3 hours a week in gaming, and that's 1 hour Friday, 1 hour Saturday, 1 hour Sunday.
Dear Chinese government, when kids start killing their parents,
Oh
you
my
know
God.
why.
Well,
No, I mean, like
I
I read that article and went an hour a day from 8 to 9.
Yeah,
Like, there's a restricted time even.
Yeah,
8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's it.
How do you enforce this though? I mean,
They just shut off the internet, probably.
I guess, but like there are plenty of single player games.
I guess.
I mean, I don't really understand that, but I mean, I'm sure people will follow it. I mean, I think it's a
To be
massive
fair,
overreach.
I
but
don't understand the Chinese government, so
Well, the reason being is in the article they're trying to prevent gaming addiction.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Are they really addicts? Or it's like you really can't come out of the house because they're still on COVID restrictions. So it's like, are you really addicted to gaming?
I mean, I'm gonna go with yes, I am. I'm also gonna go. I'm also gonna go with it has absolutely nothing to do with the number of hours that I play, because like there are weeks when I have little to no time. I've obviously made a concerted effort to play a little bit more once we started the podcast, because I was like, I need some stuff to talk about. I need to make sure that we're playing some different things and kind of mixing it up and whatever.
Right.
But time between the time that like I quit working at GameStop until the time we did the podcast, there were weeks where I wouldn't play, but I wasn't like jonesing like, oh, I gotta, like, I wasn't doing the Dave Chappelle like,
Yeah, I got
yeah, like,
Well, here's my counter argument to that though. I mean, we're talking about kids under the age of 18, right? Like young people. I mean,
yeah,
they don't
but I mean,
have much to do.
I started playing when I was like 5.
yeah.
And I still went outside and did some stuff. And like my 16-year-old plays a good amount, but he also plays like club soccer, high school soccer. He's out with his friends. He's doing different things. Like he and his girlfriend play Xbox together. It is what like, you know, there's other things that he does. And like, I just don't see it as like a serious problem.
Yeah. Well, I agree in that sense, but I'm Mark Swing and gambling. I'm gonna say gaming addict. I'm not a gambling addict. I haven't been to the casino in a long time. Anyway,
that's because you don't live right next to one like I do.
I'm 5 minutes away from one right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's bad. Yeah, I'm about 5 minutes away as well. So there we go.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so I am a gaming addict. I know that for sure. And I mean, it's less now, obviously, because life happens and you I have responsibilities. But I remember like coming home from school and like, or even at school, it's like, I thought about, wanting to get home, like race up those stairs and, hop on. And my dad actually worked third shift. So right as I was coming home would be
he was leaving
3 or 4 o'clock. I have to wait like an hour because he would, give me a hard time. Like, oh, you just got home. Like, you don't need to get on that game or whatever. As soon as that door shut, when he's out the door, just up the steps. And so it's like, I was definitely a hardcore gambling you know what? I'm a gambling addict too.
Gambling
At
addict
this point,
yep. That's two Freudian slips.
I got two. Yeah, I need some serious help over here. But anyway,
he's gambling on games. Yeah.
Exactly.
If you have a gambling addiction in the state of Indiana, call 1-800 with it.
But anyway, so I see where they're coming from, but it seems extreme. Like 3 hours a week, like that's going to take you a long time to beat a game.
Right, but even with that, how would it affect online gaming across the world? Because they have a huge population. Then it's like if they're not on and they can only be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, how would that affect online gaming for games like Call of Duty, Grand Theft, and those games?
Well, I don't think we'll see a big effect because if you're playing on those servers, you're already making a problem. You're already making a mistake. I mean, we're on different server sets, so if they're playing on our servers, they're gonna have a hard time playing anyway. That latency is gonna be so bad. It'll be lagging all over the place.
Yeah.
So, I don't now revenue wise for companies, I think you're right. I think they will see a little, like downward, and they're like, oh, that's not good. But
especially for the Chinese companies like Tencent, because they're not going to be happy.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest, is other than EA as far as generating revenue from online play, right?
Yeah.
So how does that affect their business? And I'm sure the Chinese government doesn't care. I mean, I'm getting the podcast banned in China right now, just so you know.
That's okay.
No.
They can only listen to it an hour.
Yeah, they're only allowed an hour on the internet anyway, so we're fine. Yeah, I mean, I just again, I think that it's a massive governmental overreach, like you said, but for me, I don't care because I'm not in China. That's why I live here.
Hold on, now what about if they did that here? How would that play out?
It wouldn't happen.
Well,
under 18,
it wouldn't happen. I mean, we can't, like, for real. people don't want to wear masks in school because they think it infringes upon their rights, or that like if you took away video games to some. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, but if you take away like video games, it'd be the same type of thing. It'd be a very similar reaction.
Hey, you're right. If not
That's all.
worse.
That's all. Yeah, that's all I'm saying is like it'd be a very similar reaction.
Yeah.
To you don't have the right to tell my kid they can't play GTA because I mean we used to get that at GameStop all the time when we tell people like, hey, this game's rated M for mature.
I bet you did. That's a shame. That's crazy.
Yeah, like, and people would be like, you can't tell me, and I'm like, it's just my job to inform you that this is what's in this game.
Yeah.
Once you buy it, I don't care what you do.
Right.
Like, but we have to let you know that that's what it was. But that's, I mean, what people do on their own time is, to me, that's on them. Like, and China's different. Like, but if they tried that here, man, like it would not end well.
I figured. Then another piece of news: they're cracking down on cheating in Warzone.
Man, they've been saying that. They've been saying that for so long.
Mark's calling BS. I knew where Mark was going to go on this one because they're not doing it.
Well, they said they banned 100,000 people.
Cool,
okay,
but they're all going
to create a new PSN account and do it, like play again. It's free.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I personally know someone who called me and they're like, guess what I got? And I'm like, what? And they're like, a Cronus X Max. And I'm like, click. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even play Warzone. I'm like, man, why? Like, why? Like, seriously? And it's like, I don't. They're like, oh, we have a new anti-cheat. And it's like, do you? I mean, like, anti-cheats just don't are just willy-nilly like running around like, oh, we got a new one. And it's like, okay, if they did, like, it probably won't take long for new cheats to come out. And I just don't feel like they're on top of it. Like, and besides, I mean, that's great for Warzone, but I mean, like, it might be too late. I mean, a lot of people already left. I don't really see anything new coming out that's going to bring them.
No, back. I think they get another surge of people in when Vanguard releases.
Yeah.
I think they see a little bit of a surge there, but until they have a real anti-cheat, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, the companies will always like flex these numbers like, oh, we banned this many people, and it's like, did you? Like
the other question,
and then I'll log into a lobby and then have someone cheating. So it's like,
well, and you also look and you go, okay, did you ban a bunch of people that haven't been playing? Like, did you take a bunch of accounts that haven't been active and you're like, they haven't played in 90 days? I'm just going to kick them and say, hey, we banned those people.
Yeah.
That's probably what they did too.
Well, like, it's one of those things where you're like, dude, it doesn't really matter if you keep banning people on a network where you just create a new gamer tag or a new ID and you can just log right back in and play.
I mean, you have the same problem in other video games with smurfing. Like, oh, it's like, oh, okay, this person's the highest rank in this video game, but they just created a new one, played bad for the placements, and now they're destroying me. It's like, it's just,
or they have different accounts to play with their friends.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean,
like, I know of a number of people that have to do that.
Right. And I get that, but like, if you're gonna do that, at least play easy a little bit. You don't have to sweat. But I mean, cheating and smurfing are just always going to be in thing in games. You can do your best, but as long as your best isn't Warzone, then you're in a good spot. And I think it'll take a while for people to accept that Warzone's doing good. I mean, who knows? I could be wrong, and they're really doing good work, but we won't see it for a while.
So break down smurfing, because I was about to Google it, but I'm gonna let you break it down.
I don't know where the name. I don't know why it's called that. It's just always been called that, as far as I know. It's just when I am the highest. I'll be a really high rank, but then you create a second account, play really bad, and then so you get ranked lower, and then so you can play down in the lower ranks.
You really want to know where it came from?
Maybe. I don't know. The internet's a scary place.
It's a money laundering technique.
Oh, okay.
So smurfing is a money laundering technique that involves structuring large amounts of cash into multiple small transactions. So essentially what they're saying in gaming, like, you're really, really good, but you're just going to do a little bit here and a little bit there. It's very similar in that regard. So instead of having a ton of XP, you're just getting a little here and a little there.
Gotcha.
No, let me find out you laundering stuff over there. Joking, man, joking.
No,
I was wondering how he
just,
had all those portables.
well, I was like, this is a bad idea for me to tell everybody what smurfing really is, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway.
Oh, shoot.
It's
No, but I get it now. Like, that's the first time I ever heard somebody say that.
yeah. It was originally like a money laundering like term, but it fits in gaming because it's exactly the same type of thing. Like you should have 1 million XP, but instead you have 250,000, 250,000. You know, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. Like you've got like 5 or 6 accounts, that are all lower.
Gotcha.
So,
makes sense.
The more you know.
now everybody's going to be asking me about money laundering. Waiting, I'll log into Facebook and there'll be something about cryptocurrency or something on my ads. Like, would you like to launder some crypto?
I just saw something new that there's a new game coming to Steam and such that is involving crypto and NFTs. I didn't read it. I didn't get a chance to, but
we have to. I'd actually like to talk about NFTs at some point because I need to understand how that all works. Because I saw like WWE has some John Cena NFT that they had during SummerSlam that you could buy, and I was like, that's interesting because I don't even know how that works. But there's a bunch of gaming companies getting ready to do it with different things.
Invested $100 million into NFTs.
So pretty much just like a exclusive piece of content that you own.
Yeah, it's digital art. Best way to describe it.
Yeah, but like how they're monetizing it is what's interesting to me. Like I think it's a really interesting concept.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like, okay, well, it's a desktop wallpaper, but you only get it if you spend, X number of dollars to get it.
Right.
And you can sell it. Like, hey, I got number 5. You want number 5? Well, I'm gonna take my price up. Yeah, that's about to be crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I think it's games. I think we'll see more of that kind of weird stuff. And I say weird stuff, but I mean it's really interesting to me because I think we're going to start seeing it in games where like different gun skins are only available at certain price points and stuff, like a little bit more than we're seeing it now. But I wonder how that market will create more of that exchange.
I kind of wish more games were like that. I mean, I've always was like obsessed with it with like Counter-Strike and stuff. And like I've always been like, oh, I want to be like kind of exclusive. I want to show off these cool skins that I have, so on and so forth. And it's like, okay, so now
everybody
like,
has it.
like a thing. And then like let's say it has real world value to where that can, if you sold that item that you found or whatever it is, you could sell it and then get real money. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
Hey,
kind of heading towards player. Way ahead of you.
Yeah.
But it really reminds me of Ready Player One in a sense.
Yeah.
So,
I like that movie too.
They just that second book released this year. I haven't read it yet, but can you guess the name?
What?
Ready Player
2. I mean, if they had named it anything else, we would all been like, "Why?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, really? Yeah, definitely. Oh shoot, we at our mark, fellas.
Yeah, we are.
Sure.
It was a good episode though. When we talked a lot about different mobile games and different things that we've been messing with. So hopefully everybody enjoyed it. If you like us, give us a follow on Twitch. It is now twitch.tv/teamfrishes.
Yes.
And then you can find us on Twitter as well. Team Frisch on Twitter. We'll roll that across the screen there. Still on the Game Day YouTube page. You can get there. tinyurl.com/gamedayyoutube is the easiest way to get there.
Let's follow the bottom.
Follow. Yeah. Follow.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your names.
Yeah, hold on. There you go. Follow.
Whoop.
Follow.
Yeah, give us a follow on social media. this time of year, you'll see me talking a lot about that soccer stuff. Games obviously too, but soccer kind of takes over in the fall.
Yeah, we can get into the new FIFA coming up next episode. So
yeah, and I'll have 2 more weeks of the beta in, so we'll be able to talk about that.
And 2K comes out the 13th, so yeah.
Oh, so we've got the show on the 15th is the day after, right? Is the show after NBA comes out?
Yes, sir.
All right. So is there anything coming out this weekend that anybody's going to play before we hit off for next week's show?
Nothing new.
No.
Yeah, I think this is a soft week.
Usually we hit up all those games that are releasing like this week. Tay, it's your big Rumble. Comes out in 2 days. Big Rumble Creed Champions.
Oh yeah.
That on Friday.
How much is that one? Matt, he said when his Madden come out. Madden's out.
Yeah, Madden is out.
Yeah, Madden 22. Hold on, I think I got it in the back.
Yeah, Madden's out.
Hold on.
Big Rumble Creed Boxing comes out on the 3rd, and it's going to be $39.99. $39.99 for that Big Rumble.
Iggy Pop, yeah, we got it. You got.
Jay's taking $200 bets on Madden this weekend.
No.
DM him if you want.
Yeah, hey, if you want to lose your money, you could DM me. Yeah.
Psychonauts already came out, so that's one that I was going to hit at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them that are coming down the pike. We know, but Tay, that Creed Champions of yours, that's 2 days away.
Yeah. Yes. We didn't even get to talk about it with the racing championship, $250,000 grand prize.
Oh, Malcolm got a PS5. Tay, you jealous?
Yeah, I am jealous. Can you please send me your contact information so I can get a PS5, please? Thank you, sir.
Oh man, yeah. I mean,
I'm still waiting.
I've been trying to hit all those instant like, hey, this is going live at this time, and I'm like, if I can get in the lobby, I'll be like, all right, guys, I'm in the lobby. Who needs one?
But this is crazy.
It's not been happening.
They have something available, but they're doing bundle packages.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 controllers, the headphones. So you're still paying about $1,200-$1,300.
Why not just sell it? You could sell that stuff.
Nah, if I'm I ain't selling nothing.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I get that. I get what you want, right?
Right. So it's like, let me just get one with one controller because I'm gonna be playing by myself. So yeah. Hopefully. I want the disc version too, so I'm waiting.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us this week. We're gonna wrap it up. I know we could keep talking for hours. We know we could. But we'll wrap it up. I am Touched Artist.
DJ Tay Boogie, aka TB Clutch.
Swing live
with the wave.
Always with the wave.
Sayonara.
Be sure to give us a follow. Thank you again for watching the show tonight, and we will see y'all next week.
Make sure you guys shut the door on the way out, all right? Bye.
Shut the door.